Before we get into the video, could everyone please subscribe to my Endless Diary Tales channel? Thank you so much. After pursuing my childhood sweetheart Mary for 8 years, she ran away on our wedding day to find her first love, saying he needs me now. Later, I married my arch-rival Lisa, who said, "We'll give you half of the family fortune. Everything I have is yours." When Mary asked me for a divorce, I replied, "Sorry, my wife is experiencing morning sickness." "George, hasn't Mary arrived yet? The guests are already here." My brother and best man Tom tugged at my sleeve, anxiously scanning the wedding hall. I felt a bit uneasy, but I still pretended to be calm and said, "She just said she was going to touch up her makeup. She should be here soon. She is always very punctual." Tom became even more anxious. After hesitating for a moment, he finally said, "George, I just heard from the bridesmaid that Mary went to the hospital. It seems her white moonlight is sick." I finished listening, full of doubts. Didn't he just come back from abroad a month ago? How could he be sick? What illness is so urgent? And even if Mary wants to go see him, she should wait until after we get married to go together. "George, don't you know? In the past month, several people have seen the two of them together. It's just that since you're getting married, no one wants to say anything." Tom's words exploded in my mind like a thunderclap. No wonder Mary has been coming home later and later. The company's IPO plan has been progressing smoothly thanks to my team's efforts, but she has become indifferent to many things, and I feel sorry for her. I have been handling almost all the details of the wedding. It's also hard to see her at the company, but whether it's work or personal matters, most of it has been on my shoulders. "George, you need to find Mary first, or if she really runs off with that guy, you'll be wearing a green hat," Tom said anxiously, stamping his feet. I picked up my phone in a daze and dialed Mary's number, but all I heard was a busy signal. In desperation, I called the bridesmaid Lucy, and the phone was quickly answered. She spoke hesitantly and finally said, "Boss, let's continue with the wedding. Maybe this way Mary can make up her mind. We all hope you two can be together. We have been starting a business together for 6 years, so they naturally lean towards me." Back then, when Mary's family went bankrupt, her white moonlight left her without hesitation and went abroad. Meanwhile, I sold my own house and embarked on the entrepreneurial journey with them. But looking back now, I was the fool. Just when I was about to reap the rewards, someone else picked the fruit. I said to Lucy with difficulty, "Let's cancel the wedding." Lucy was sobbing on the other end of the phone, just about to come into the hotel lobby to persuade me. At that moment, Mary's arch-rival Lisa suddenly appeared, dressed in a white gown. She grabbed my hand and casually linked it in the crook of my arm, saying, "You need a bride, I need a groom. Let's get married." The best man, the photographer, and the waiter arranged by the hotel to hold the wedding dress train all stood, shocked, frozen in place. "Lisa, don't make trouble here," I said. "Lee's company and our company have overlapping businesses, both focusing on short video software. Over the past 6 years, we have competed fiercely in the market, and out of 10 encounters, 8 times it was my company and Mary's that emerged victorious. George, it was you who sold the house to invest in Mary's company, putting in so much, yet she didn't even give you any shares. She even said that once you have children, all the shares would go to the kids." Lisa said in fact she regrets the marriage now. Besides playing with your feelings, she wants to break the contract. The company is about to go public, and by getting rid of you, she can make tens of billions more. Lisa's words sent a chill down my spine. Mary holds the core technology, and all along I have been responsible for matters outside of technology, although my contributions are no less than hers. In the face of interests, I'm not sure she would still choose me. "George, do you remember I once said that you deserve better?" That sentence was said by Lisa 6 years ago, and shortly after she said it, she broke away from our team. Lisa took out a contract from her arms and said, "Half of my shares belong to you. Are you satisfied with this?" Her company has developed quite well in recent years, and if it goes public, it will still be our biggest competitor. I was on guard, worried that she had some kind of scheme. Her beautiful face rarely flushed, and she explained, "Don't overthink it. I'm just scared of being defeated by the two of you together. Anyway, most of the preparation work for Mary's company's IPO was done by you. And our company is about to go public too. You just need to go through the process again, and you can get half the shares, which isn't a loss for you." Our company can also go public faster, which is good for me too. Some companies get delayed at this stage of going public, and they might never have another chance. In recent years, among the two companies favored by investors, Mary's company stands out largely because I excel at painting a picture of the company's development prospects for investors. In my plan, our short video software will definitely become a popular platform like Douyin in the future. Tom listened to all of this beside me. He is my assistant and said, "George, you won't get anything by following that jerk. It's better to be with Lisa. Wherever you go, it'll follow you." Tom was hired by me after I graduated from university. At first he was my supporter and later we became good brothers. If I can get shares in Mary's company, I will definitely give him some original shares. But now that Mary is treating me this way, can I still have any illusions about her? Let's go, George. Without love, you can still have a lot of money, Lisa said as she walked ahead, and I didn't pull back the hand she was holding. "I'll give you half of my inheritance and it'll belong to you completely," she said with a smile. 8 years of youth have been wasted. Now that someone is extending a helping hand to me, I naturally have to hold on tightly. Let us welcome the groom and the bride. When we walked into the wedding venue, everyone inside was stunned. Mary's parents looked on in disbelief at this farce. However, they did not cause a scene, as I had already messaged them beforehand. After all, it was their daughter who was in the wrong, and they didn't know what to do. In the middle of the hall, the display screen quickly changed to groom, George, bride, Lisa, to reassure the guests present. I picked up the microphone and said, "Thank you all for coming. The original bride chose to pursue her true love on this joyous day. And I too have found someone who truly cherishes me." Under the gaze of everyone, we completed the wedding ceremony. I took the ring and placed it on Lisa's hand, gently kissing her cheek. After the wedding, we left to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get our certificate. It was only when we returned to the home that Mary and I had shared that I came to my senses. Lisa had sent some people to help me pack up, and the wedding photos that Mary and I had taken affectionately in our wedding attire were smashed by our people and thrown in the trash. Many clothes were also directed by Lisa to be thrown away. "My husband's clothes in the future will all be bought by me," Lisa said childishly and cutely. Over the past few years, in order to get the company listed and to have a better future with Mary, I rarely bought new clothes. But now Mary has betrayed me. "Honey, just throw all of this away. I think it's enough to just take you away," Lisa said with a smile, firmly holding my hand and leading me away. The people behind us cleaned up everything that belonged to me. In a house, Lee's villa is as beautiful as a sky garden. The 3rd and 4th floors have glass exterior walls shining brilliantly under the lights at night. She mischievously took my phone, blacklisted Mary's phone number in WeChat, and then changed her own number's note to "Kiss Kiss Wife." "George, do you know why I fell out with you 6 years ago?" Lisa asked. Lisa was initially a member of our team, but one day she suddenly had a dispute with Mary, and then went off on her own. She comes from a wealthy family and doesn't lack funds, but I've heard that she faced quite a bit of hardship when forming her own team. "Why?" I asked, sitting in a lounge chair, gazing at the starry sky, occasionally taking a sip of red wine. That day I heard Mary call Jack, trying to keep him, saying that he was just working for her, and that she had no feelings for him. Lisa's words pierced my heart like a knife. It turned out that even Lisa felt sorry for me, while I had never seen my own situation clearly. In fact, over the past few years she has been paying attention to Jack. Haven't you ever looked at Jack's social media accounts? Mary has liked every one of his posts. Lisa's words reminded me that the people in Mary's team always looked at me with pity. So that's it. I'm just a fool kept in the dark. Dark under the influence of glass after glass of red wine, I gradually became a bit dazed before passing out. I grabbed Lisa and cried, "Why did you lie to me? If you don't love me, why do you still use me?" Lisa's lips gently fell on my burning face and she said, "There's nothing wrong with love, George. It's just that you love the wrong person." The next day, Lisa accompanied me to the short video company I had been with before. Along the way, the employees all stared at me. With such a big change in the company, I, who was originally expected to become the boss, was kicked out. Except for Mary, everyone from the original team is here. "Boss, don't go. Wait for Mary to come back. We'll make her apologize to you." Their words made me realize that Mary had actually eloped. Let's part on good terms. Please settle the money I invested in the company according to my share. Everyone, I won't be accompanying you on the road ahead. I bowed deeply, and the employee Tom, this big boy, actually shed tears. I turned around and waved my hand gracefully. My own team followed behind. After hearing my plan, they decided to go with me. A team of 15 people left the original company in a grand manner. I turned around to look at this scene and found it somewhat amusing. Some people even brought suitcases, taking all their belongings from the company. "Boss, what do we plan to do next?" someone in the team asked. Besides Tom, no one knew that Lisa and I had signed a contract to start a business. "Next, our goal is to take Lisa's company public. Don't worry, your shares are all prepared. The share distribution and the contract will satisfy them." The team was buzzing. They never expected that what seemed like a failure and losing their jobs would lead to a better opportunity. "I only now understand that your trust is my most valuable asset." I deeply bowed to the team. During countless days and nights of struggle, I thought about how to repay their loyalty in the future. I didn't expect that Mary's white moonlight would almost ruin everything. Not only my 6 years of effort but also the team's trust in me. But I cannot fall. I must rise to the peak again. In the workplace, there is no time for me to mourn. I can only rely on myself. If Lisa hadn't appeared, I might have had to start my own business, but now there's a shortcut, so why not choose it? Achieving success with the help of others is also a form of success. A few days later, when my team and I were extremely busy, I received a call from Mary. She called using Tom's phone because my phone had already blocked her. "George, you are ruthless," Mary said. I sneered. "Can I be more ruthless than you? 6 years ago, I sold my house and invested $2 million in the company. Now the company's market value is $10 billion, and you only give me $20 million. Mary, you really hit the jackpot. If you had a few more fools like me, wouldn't you be able to become a billionaire?" "George, I am not as despicable as you think. I just hope you can give me some time to sort things out with Ja. I didn't expect you to just be with Lisa. Do you think that's fair to me? Have you two been together for a long time?" Mary said angrily, as if she still felt justified. "Whoever betrays first is the one in the wrong. For the past 6 years I have been devoted to you. But you only have Jack in your heart. Let's not blame each other, Mary. Stop pretending to be foolish. Without me, you wouldn't be so smooth sailing now. You've put a green hat on me and still want me to act as if nothing happened. Do you hope that I will watch you being affectionate every day and continue to serve you? Let me tell you, if you go bankrupt again one day, Jack will probably run away faster than anyone else. Mary, listen to me. You still like me, right? You're getting divorced from Lisa now, and we'll get married right away. Let's just consider the past as a dream. People often find themselves trapped in difficulties without realizing it. Only by jumping out can they understand how vast the world outside is. Mary, there's no way to explain to the investors now, right? Are they pulling out? Aren't you so capable? You and your white moonlight can solve it yourselves. I'm busy and don't have time to deal with you." After I finished speaking, I hung up the phone harshly, looking out the window. My throat felt a bit choked. Once we also had beautiful memories. When we argued, she would play games with me to cheer me up. When we were poor, she would take a few sips of soup from a bowl of instant noodles and say she was full, leaving the noodles for me. At drinking parties, she felt sorry for me and wouldn't let me drink, but she would put on a brave face. Even if it meant ending up in the hospital with a stomach ache, she would still smile at me. But now everything has changed. I am a man, and after a breakup, I cannot show weakness in front of others. I can only heal myself when no one is around. I dozed off on the sofa in the office for a while, not caring that the sky was gradually getting darker. Suddenly, something was placed on my leg, and I was startled. When I woke up and looked, it turned out to be a tiny little ragdoll cat, not fully grown yet, quietly lying on my leg and sleeping. I looked at Lisa and said with a bit of amusement, "We're so busy right now. Where do we find the time to take care of a cat?" Lisa patted me on the back and comforted me, saying, "It's okay. You just focus on playing with it. It'll take care of the poop and dew-wearing, but don't hesitate anymore. I remember you said in college that you wanted to have a cat in the future, but year after year, you always have excuses not to get one. When you grow old, you'll realize that you never did the things you loved, and time has just passed by like that. In the end, you won't even have a cat. Don't let future regrets affect your life now. Lee's words resonated with me. I've always thought about traveling when I have the time, going to a deserted place to stay for a few days, taking days off and doing nothing. Seems like there's never any time. Let's give a name, I suggested. Let's call a dog Lisa, I said. I gently nudged her waist with my elbow, and she then seriously said, then let's call it White Little Pig. I heard that names are easier for cats to raise. Okay, surprisingly, when called Little Pig, this cat actually responded. One day, Lisa took me to a banquet. She was wearing a red evening gown, and I was in a black suit. She smiled and said, if we had a white horse, people would definitely think we are a prince and princess. I tapped her nose and said with a smile, if you want to praise yourself for being beautiful, just say it directly. Don't drag me into it. She looked at me and suddenly said seriously, George, you look really good when you smile. I really want to see you smile every day. I felt a warmth in my heart and suddenly realized that I hadn't felt this comfortable in a long time. Lisa, whether in private or at the company, has always given me a sense of security. In my previous company, it seemed like I couldn't make any decisions. Even asking for an extra trash can in the office required me to submit 10 requests in the OA system before getting approval. But if Lisa is going to be late coming home, she sends me a photo in advance, never leaving me wondering where she is. Unlike Mary, sometimes when she goes abroad, I only find out from others. I used to worry about her sudden disappearances while she was busy revolving around her white moonlight in a foreign land. Soon the crowd stirred as Mary appeared with Jack. Jack was dressed in high-end brands, clearly very wealthy. Mary saw us and immediately raised her head as if to show off to me. I found her very childish and chose to ignore her directly. Lisa quickly pulled me onto the dance floor, her hand resting on my shoulder as we danced gracefully. Before long, Mary shouted from the side, how about we change dance partners? Lisa turned her head and refused. I refuse. I just want to dance with my husband, Lisa said. Don't be so childish, Mary said angrily. Who told you that you don't have a husband? I do, Lisa said, and she tiptoed to kiss my lips. The scent of jasmine wafted from her, and perhaps because of the passionate atmosphere on the dance floor, I felt a bit dizzy. In a daze, I noticed that Mary looked very pale during the banquet. Someone called Lisa away, and Jack suddenly appeared in front of me. George, you really are something. As soon as I return, you give me the position you've worked so hard for. Thank you for helping me all these years. I raised my glass and said, Jack, I still have to thank you. After so many years in the company, I haven't even gotten any shares. Do you think you can be the exception? Wake up. In the face of interests, Mary will always love herself. I didn't want to argue with him. I chose to leave simply because Mary wasn't worth it. You just can't accept failure, that's why you say that. If it were me, I wouldn't leave at this time. What a fool. I pointed at Lisa and said, I'm not stupid. My wife treats me well and she doesn't have any white moonlight in her heart right now. I am not anyone's accessory. I am myself. Jack's face twisted in an instant. Perhaps he would never understand how unreliable it is to depend on others. I also have my own reputation in the business world. I turned to leave, and just as I was about to go to the bathroom, someone suddenly grabbed my hand. George, I'm not mad at you anymore, okay? I brought him here today just to make you jealous. I shook off her hand. The spot next to Mary was not stable, but Jack was still trying to get closer. Don't come looking for me anymore, Mary. I've said it many times. It's not possible for us. I am now Lisa's husband, I said seriously. Don't lie to me anymore. You've loved me for so many years. How could you just forget? You're lying to me and you're lying to yourself. Have you forgotten who helped you fend off those creditors at home? You said you would be with me for a lifetime, she pleaded with a sobbing voice. Mary, I really liked the you from before when you truly cared for me. But later, you shouldn't have kept me hanging and tried to please Jack. The you that I love is long gone. The current you is selfish and only thinks of yourself. You're no longer the Mary the first liked. The bond between people is not as strong as one might imagine. I turned to leave, and behind me came Mary's voice filled with regret. That night in the back seat of the car, Lisa held my hand tightly the whole way. George, I always feel like everything is a dream. In the past, when I went to parties, I would always see you and Mary together dancing gracefully, and I would think how wonderful it would be if the person by your side were me. I held her hand and asked, "Does that mean you've liked me for a long time?" She looked at me with piercing eyes but said nothing. That'd be why. My mom said she wants to meet you. I naturally did not refuse. A few days later, Lisa took me to meet her mother. Someone like me probably has a stain in the eyes of a wealthy mother-in-law. After all, I have experienced a failed startup and was just left at the altar by my fiancé. When I arrived at the restaurant, I met Lisa's mother, a radiant lady dressed in a white dress who maintained her figure well and looked to be in her 30s or 40s, exuding an elegant aura. "You are my son-in-law. How nice." Finally, someone could handle her, my mother-in-law said half-jokingly, which made me relax a lot and feel closer to her. There's no one ruling over anyone. It's enough for everyone to respect each other, I responded humbly. Son-in-law, don't be afraid. My silly daughter just needs her husband to take care of her. She has been mischievous since she was little and even used to do extreme sports, which scared me to death. Now it's better. She's just going to grab a wedding, and she hasn't caused any bigger trouble, so that's not too bad. My mother-in-law's words made me unable to help but laugh. Mom, Lisa grabbed my hand and said seriously, "You know I like George. If he had married someone else, I might have had to become a nun. Fortunately, heaven has favored me and given me this opportunity. Mom, you can't bully George. He is very important to me." Lisa's affectionate look made me a bit uncomfortable. Taking advantage of my mother-in-law's distraction, I tugged at her and whispered, "You weren't the female lead in a Chong Yao drama in your past life, were you? You're so good at telling stories." Lisa glanced at me with a mournful look, putting on a victim's expression. My mother-in-law was very happy to see us in such a loving manner. I felt a bit nervous during the meal, afraid that she would see through our fake marriage. Fortunately, Lisa and I acted quite well and didn't reveal any flaws. Before my mother-in-law left, she held my hand. I haven't felt the warmth from an elder in many years. My parents passed away one after the other when I was in high school. At that time, my father's business was thriving, and a sudden death hit my mother hard, and she soon fell ill. We had no time or energy to manage the business, and later the company was swallowed up by our partners, leaving us with nothing. After my mother passed away as well, and after paying the hospital and funeral expenses, I was left with only one house. At that time, it was my childhood friend Mary who accompanied me through that difficult period. Many people rumored that my father was in debt, and Mary stood in front of me like a protective she-wolf, saying to those creditors, "Uncle's debts are all related to business matters. You should go after the company, not bully a child. If you think you were right, feel free to sue. We will accept the legal judgment." At that time, she was my angel, pulling me up time and again when I was desperate about life, accompanying me as I worked hard to rise. So later, I tried every means to repay her, helping her start a business together. But now everything is different. At this moment, someone suddenly came to report, "Mr. Joe, someone is looking for you. It's Mary from the former company." When I'm at work, I don't answer her calls. After work, Lisa follows me like a police dog, and Mary can't find any opportunity to get close to me at all. I thought she would give up, but it seems I still need to make a decision. "Please let her in," I said. I didn't expect that after just half a month of not seeing her, Mary looked utterly haggard. She wasn't wearing any makeup, and her clothes were all wrinkled, completely lacking the brilliance she used to have. As soon as she saw me, her eyes lit up, and she wanted to rush over and hug me. I immediately said, "Mary, please sit down." Mary saw my cold and distant attitude, so she reluctantly sat down. We sat facing each other, and for a moment neither of us spoke. She just looked at me, making me feel uncomfortable all over. I said impatiently, "Mary, just say what you need to say. I'm very busy." Mary looked at me deeply and said with a sense of grievance, "George, let's make up." I sneered. "Mary, have you realized that without my help, your work isn't going well? I heard the company's IPO plan has been put on hold. This isn't like you at all. Why don't you just find another group of people? I've already done quite a bit of the preliminary work for you. Think about it. If it weren't for me, How would you have had so much time to spend with your true love? Mary began to plead, looking at me with wide eyes, and said, George, Jack and I are done. I've completely cut ties with him this time. I promise to be good and be with you. I interrupted her. Mary, did you notice anything different today? Mary looked puzzled. It's still your original team. It doesn't seem much different. Oh, the difference is you're now Lee's husband, no longer mine. I knocked on the table and said, Mary, haven't you noticed that this office is big and comfortable? In the previous company, you had our team of 15 crammed into a small office like sardines in a can. I've told you many times that we need to change offices, and each time you said to wait until the company goes public. But because of your weight, my team has been suffocated for 4 years. Mary suddenly realized, George, is this why you left me? Don't worry. As long as you're willing to come back, I'll immediately give you a bigger office. I raised my hand to stop her. Mary, you don't understand the crux of the problem. What I care about is not the size of the office, but the fact that for the past 8 years with you, you have never considered me. I've been feeling very stifled. I'm tired. I don't have so much time to keep teaching you how to care about me. In your heart, your friends cannot be wronged. Your white moonlight cannot be wronged. And you yourself cannot be wronged. But I can be ignored and wronged all the time. You provided your friends and yourself with a good working environment. But your white moonlight has a few million in watches and sports cars. But when we got married, you just casually had someone buy a cheap ring to brush me off. Mary, I am beside you. And I am even less than the pets. I don't want to compromise myself anymore. Mary was speechless, as if recalling various memories from the past. When it was Jack's birthday, she would transfer him 100,000 yuan. But for my birthday, she only instructed the maid to cook me a bowl of noodles with an egg. The employees in the tech department had strong development skills, and she was afraid they would jump ship. So after moving to a new office building, she immediately provided them with a better environment, yet felt that I, this small tool person, could be considered last for the office. Mary, we don't need to see each other again. I'm doing well now, and I hope you can find your own happiness. Mary listened to me, her eyes reddened. She didn't want me to be happy. She hoped that Lisa would treat me badly, so that she would have a chance to take me back. George, I will change. I will become the wife you idealize. After saying this, Mary reluctantly left the office. After a while, the kitten jumped onto my lap. This cat follows me in the office during the day and goes home with me at night. People in the company can also bring their pets to work, and the atmosphere is very relaxed. I gently stroked the soft nape of the kitten's neck. Spending time with it during this period has slowly healed my heart. Suddenly, someone hugged both me and the cat from behind, then came in front of me and took the kitten away, sitting down on my lap in the process. Although we have become quite familiar over the past half-month, we are not yet close enough for this level of intimacy. I looked and realized it was Lisa. She leaned her head on my shoulder and said, What are you thinking about, George? You can't just leave your wife and kids to run off with your ex-wife. I raised my hand and gently pinched her cheek. What abandonment of wife and children? What ex-wife? I refused to acknowledge it. She said somewhat gloomily, George, I just heard that she came to find you, and I was really scared. Are you worried that the company's listing plan will be affected? Don't worry. Give me 3 more months, and your wealth will definitely only increase. Recently, we've been working overtime, and everything is progressing very smoothly. Lisa is very capable, and the company is doing much better under her management than when Mary was in charge. My team has put in a lot of effort, but we have been very harmonious when coordinating with other departments. In my experience, Lisa's company will definitely surpass Mary's company in the future. George, what I care about is you. You absolutely cannot leave me. She looked grieved. Lisa was very beautiful, her eyes sparkling with a charming allure amidst her innocence. When she showed such an expression, her eyes shone like stars, making one unable to resist wanting to comfort her. Don't worry, there won't be any more of those messy things in the future. From now on, I will protect you well. As I was saying this, she grabbed my hand, pulled my head down, and kissed me deeply. I couldn't help but close my eyes. At that moment, It felt as if I were immersed in a gentle ocean, intoxicated by it. And the air seemed to be filled with a sweet fragrance. "George, you're mine." I heard her say this. A few days later, Lisa's mother called us back to our hometown. The three of us had a meal together, and the atmosphere was very pleasant. "George, why don't you stay at home with me tonight?" This old lady. "Mom, you don't look old at all." I was just about to flatter my mother-in-law when Lisa interrupted. "You're the one who's old. I heard Uncle Lynn is pursuing you. I also heard you've been shopping for children's clothes at all the big malls recently. I just want to say, even though I really like my little sister, if you remarry, please don't have any more kids at your age. If something happens, I want to take responsibility." The mother-in-law finally got angry and slapped Lisa on the head. "You're 26 years old. Can you think before you speak? The children's clothes I bought are for your future kids. In a puzzle, why would I have more children? It's not just your Uncle Lin who's pursuing me. There are also Uncle Xiao, Uncle Chin, Uncle Sun, and Uncle Lu all chasing after me. I'm just dating, not getting married. Who doesn't want to be a princess forever? Mom, you're right. Once we're married, how can we still be pampered by so many people like we are now?" I quickly agreed. Lisa listened and said, "Aren't I pampering you? I pick you up and drop you off at work every day. Give you a kiss before you go out. And there's also a kiss before you drive to work." "You don't say that." I quickly covered her mouth, really wishing I could find a crack in the ground to hide in. As a result, she actually stuck out her tongue and licked my palm, making it all wet. With her teasing me like this, I couldn't get angry. Mother-in-law was even happier. "It seems I have to go shopping again tomorrow and buy some baby clothes." I was so embarrassed that my face turned red, and I couldn't lift my head. "Since it's so late today, you all should just stay at home and sleep," said the mother-in-law. I didn't expect that after my mother-in-law finished speaking, Lisa would act a bit unnatural, and even asked to go upstairs first. I was wondering if Lisa also had a white moonlight. I quickly followed her upstairs, and as soon as I entered her room, I saw that she seemed to be hiding something. "Take it out," I said seriously, extending my hand for her to hand it over. If Lisa also had an unforgettable old lover, perhaps I would consider stepping back. After all, compared to the 10 years of loving Mary, these few months of feelings are not that deep. Although I've been very happy with her during this time, I also do not want to get caught up in complicated emotional entanglements. Lisa hesitated for a moment, but still obediently handed over the picture frame. I took the frame and looked closely. Inside was a photo of me winning the 400-meter championship at the school sports meet during my sophomore year. I was wearing a tracksuit and full of vitality. Don't scold me. I secretly took this photo when it was posted on the honor board. "What are you?" "Yes, I've had a crush on you for a long time. But you didn't even notice me. I originally thought you would become someone else's groom. I didn't expect that day that silly woman Mary ran away from the wedding. You have no idea how happy I was at that moment. I'm really glad I showed up at your wedding banquet that day and ended up marrying you. You know, after I found out that Mary was with her white moonlight, I started preparing that contract. I carried it with me every day, thinking that if there was a chance, I could give it to you. You really did. I really like you. I swear I've liked you for 6 years. I joined your team back then because I liked you. I eventually left because I just couldn't take it anymore." I was momentarily at a loss for words, filled with emotion, and hugged her tightly. "You should have told me sooner, silly girl. I'm not foolish at that time. You couldn't see me, but I was willing to wait. Look, I have waited for you, haven't I?" She hugged me back, and that night we truly became the most important people in each other's lives. A month and a half later, I suddenly received a call from Mary's parents. After a moment of hesitation, I agreed to meet in a cafe near the company. I met the two elderly people who looked somewhat haggard. "George, I'm sorry. Mary is in a particularly bad state right now. She has completely become a work machine, working day and night. When we asked her, she said she wants to hurry up and get the company listed to provide you with better material conditions." They pleaded. "George, please go back to her." I responded leisurely. "Sure, let Mary transfer all her shares to me." Mary's father's expression changed immediately. "George, It's more reasonable for Mary to transfer 20% of her shares to you. You know how hard she has worked to start her business. If she gives it all to you, wouldn't that mean she worked for nothing? I smiled and said, Uncle and Aunt, you don't have to pretend anymore. Why didn't you stop me from marrying Lisa at my wedding? First, you secretly hoped I would leave Mary, so she can have those shares all to herself. Second, you support Mary being with Jack, because his family is better off than mine, and my family has fallen on hard times compared to him. In fact, I know you met Jack before the wedding. When my family went bankrupt, you didn't help. And I never blamed you because, after all, you are business people and have to consider your interests. Later, when I helped Mary, you accepted me, but deep down, you must have hoped she would find a better support. Today, everything has been said openly, so they probably won't come to find me again in the future. George, you were just too calculating. You know in your heart that if you hadn't married someone else that day, Mary would eventually come back to you. Mary's mother tried to persuade me, but her words made no sense. If I hadn't married Lisa at that time, and had stayed at the original company waiting in vain, I might end up with nothing. Uncle and Aunt, our views are different, so let's not have any more interactions in the future. I need to go accompany my wife for her prenatal checkup, so please don't come looking for me anymore. I said my wife was having a prenatal checkup was just an excuse, but I didn't expect Lisa to suddenly pop up, looking delighted and asking when I got pregnant. After saying that, she rolled her eyes again. My period just started yesterday, didn't you know? I'm sorry, I forgot, I said somewhat awkwardly. After a while, she regained her energy. It's okay, dear. This month we will keep trying, and we will definitely be able to conceive. Just don't aim for too much. Having one son and one daughter is enough to make a good character. I gently tapped her head. You sleep a little longer. I have a sweet dream where everything is possible. Honey, you support me in working harder, right? Then I need to make you more nourishing soup so we can have a baby faster. I talked to her for half a day, but in the end, I helplessly gave up. Please spare me. I still need to save some energy to make money, honey. After having a child, you'll be more motivated to earn money. I think about future married life and let out a silent sigh. A few months later, Lisa, with her big belly, was pregnant with a baby, and I supported her lower back as we rang the bell for the company's IPO together. Fortunately, she was expecting twins. Lisa reached the late stage of pregnancy and often woke up at night from dreams, fearing that I would leave her when it was time to give birth. I wasn't anxious yet, but she had already developed prenatal anxiety. I touched her belly, where the two little treasures were, thinking to myself that they really were born with a silver spoon in their mouths, possessing wealth that others might spend a lifetime striving for but never attain. On the day Lisa gave birth, I was so nervous that I wanted to take her to the hospital in the middle of the night. Finally, the two little ones were born, a pair of twins, a boy and a girl. I was so excited that I cried and shouted, "Honey, please don't have any more children. I'm really so scared." The scene composed me in the marketplace, crying like a child. That day, it was also on that day that I received the contract sent by Mary, which included the share transfer document from her company. She wanted to transfer 100% of the shares to me. I returned the document and replied to her, "Mary, forget about me. I hope you can find your own happiness. Just know that this happiness will no longer be related to me." She replied to me, "I really wish everything was just a dream. When I wake up, I'm still at the wedding venue."